When a child is very endearing and looks at your eyes and cuddles in you, it evokes the intuitions to take care of that child. Now, what if that child cries all day? What if you've been 2 years now and have not had a good night's sleep? Okay? Now the intuitions are rather hard to find. Now you're in stormy weather. Intuitions are very important, but therefore they're usually for a sunny day. For a rainy day, you have to access something else, and that is where hopefully you can fall back on some beliefs. What you've seen in the light of day, when everything is going well, you can then depend upon when it's kind of dark. And so I'm just going to go through this about parenting as a gardener and contrast that to parenting as a sculptor. In the gardener, the ultimate objective, you want every plant to realize its potential. You want to see Sean, Jessica, come to be all that they can be in the sense of being fully human, to be able to be adaptive, resilient, to be tempered in experience and expression. The parent as sculptor, on the other hand, is very much about molding the child, shaping the child. The question is, as a gardener, is what is standing in the way of this plant realizing its potential? What nutrient isn't there? Does it need more warmth, more sun? Does it need more light? From the sculpting point of view, we ask the question, what's wrong with this child? And we find more and more the flavor of the month in terms of the various things that are wrong with this child. And the problem is most of those have fancy titles and they pull us off our own intuitions. Or the issue is you're not treating the behavior right. And so you go to courses to learn how to be able to discipline in a more consistent, immediate kind of way. The timing of interventions as a gardener, it's the principle of readiness. There's proper time for talking about difficult things. That's when the relationship is good, when a child is receptive. Of course, the gardener is in tune with nature. That's the whole point. You know that growth is spontaneous. You can't command it. If you try and pull at it, open those buds, each day give it a little bit of exercise, you'll ruin the spontaneous process. The most significant thing that a child must receive from us is the invitation to exist in our presence. Must experience it through the twinkle in our eyes, the warmth, the light. They must know that they are not too much to handle. That invitation, when it goes down deep, is the thing that brings, that nurtures, that it releases the growing processes in a child. From a parent as a sculptor, if you're concerned about form and about what fits, then you're concerned about what doesn't fit. And so the words that come out of you are, this is unacceptable. This is inappropriate. And so you come around judging the child's behavior. For the gardener, the primary tools here are the tools for being able to soften the soil. So the rain can soak in, so our warmth can soak in. That main tool, of course, back to the parent as a sculptor, is consequences. What do I take away? What consequence do I impose? How do I link a consequence to the behavior? Believing that this is the tool for being able to cut it out, for being able to decrease that behavior. And so very different than the nurturing tools. You need patience, insight, trust in the process, and relationship. So these, when the times are tough, is where you go. You go back to the basics. Everything that is true when you don't have problems is still true when the child does have problems or you have problems. But it's even more important to put it into practice. This course is not about the idea that if you did things perfectly, there would be no problems. It's about when there are problems, what are the ways to respond to make it the easiest for the child to be able to respond. I must admit that as a gardener, I have from time to time got tired and simply could not figure out why this particular plant was not realizing its potential. And finally, in exhaustion, I simply uprooted it and threw it in the compost. I threw it away. This is not advisable with children. Therefore, the course.